Audio Jungle.
टोपी फाटे दमै दैलाई तापे फाटे हामीलाई हाती पछि पार्यो हामीलाई टोपी फाटे दमै दैलाई तापे फाटे हामीलाई हाती पछि पार्यो हामीलाई हाती पछि पार्यो जति सानो सायौँ हामी अब हामीले सधैँ सामन्तीको ज्वरो रहँदैन सामन्तीको ज्वरो रहँदैन जति सानो सायौँ हामी अब हामीले सधैँ सामन्तीको ज्वरो रहँदैन सामन्तीको ज्वरो रहँदैन जति सानो सायौँ हामी अब हामीले सधैँ सामन्तीको ज्वरो रहँदैन सामन्तीको ज्वरो रहँदैन जति सानो सायौँ हामी ज्वरो रहँदैन सामन्तीको ज्वरो रहँदैन कुकुर समेत भित्र जानी हामी जान नपाउने यसको अन्त्य कसले गराउने यसको अन्त्य कसले गराउने कुकुर समेत भित्र जानी हामी जान नपाउने यसको अन्त्य कसले गराउने कुकुर समेत भित्र जानी हामी जान नपाउने यसको अन्त्य कसले गरौँ यसको अन्त्य कसले गराउने कुकुर समेत भित्र जानी हामी जान नपाउने यसको अन्त्य कसले गरौँ यसको अन्त्य कसले गरौँ धन्यवाद
Since 1987, I'm working in more than 150 countries over the world. So at present also, we are working in more than 50 countries, and we really work to advance the democracy for better future. So we collaborate with the civil society, the public institution, private sector to build a resilient democracy that deliver everyone. No, and as a global leader in promotion and protection of democracy, the IFS Technical Assistance and Research, actually the applied research developed trusted electoral bodies, the election management bodies that are
people choose their leaders make policies, and these policies impact people. So electoral systems, among the range of other issues, be it education, international and local levels. So the two main questions that this research tackles are: how can electoral systems and processes be designed to promote the participation of marginalized groups? In this particular case, Dalits and those facing dissent-based discrimination. And then the second question is really, how can electoral stakeholders promote greater representation of marginalized groups in elected bodies? So we have a former election commissioner from Nepal on our panel, we have civil society activists on our panel, we also have political, those who are engaged in political activism and running for office themselves. So it's a very diverse panel, and what what I want to share is a couple of questions from the report, not the whole report. So,
साथीहरूले ठुलो पहल प्रयास गरेर नेपालमै एउटा विश्व सम्मेलन भइरहेको छ र यो साथीहरूको यो चाहिँ ठुलो श्रमबाट ठुलो चाहिँ मिहिनेतबाट यो कार्यक्रम चाहिँ करिब करिब सम्पन्नको चाहिँ विषयतिर पुगिसकेको छ र यसले पक्कै पनि एउटा ऐतिहासिकता खडा गरेको छ र यसरी रातदिन खटेर चाहिँ यो कार्यक्रमलाई चाहिँ यो अवस्थामा पुर्याउन हुने जो नेपालका साथीहरू जसले विभिन्न देशका पाहुनाहरूलाई खुसी साथ आफ्ना विचारहरू आफ्ना समस्याहरू प्रवाह गरिरहनु भएको छ। मैले विभिन्न अरू पनि स्टलमा गएर हेरेँ देखेँ असाध्यै खुसी लाग्यो र त्यही क्रममा म अहिले नेपालमा लगभग हामीले त यो नेपालको दलित अभियानले त 20% भन्छ, राज्यको डाटाले पनि 14% जनसङ्ख्या भएको दलित समुदाय, त्यो समुदाय अहिले पनि समाजको पिँधमा छ। त्यसलाई माथि कसरी उठाउने भन्ने सवाल उठिरहेको छ। किन त भन्दा अहिले चाहिँ विश्वले विभिन्न मापदण्डहरू भइरहेको छ। कुनै मापदण्डले चाहिँ 2030 सम्ममा सबै मानवहरूलाई अथवा सबै नेपालीलाई एउटा चरणमा पुर्याउने एउटा लेभलमा पुर्याउने भनिरहेको छ, तर त्यस्तो राज्यको गतिविधिहरू चाहिँ भइरहेको छैन र ती गतिविधि हुनुपर्छ भनेर चाहिँ यस्तै ठुल्ठुला यो जनसभाहरूले चाहिँ दबाब सिर्जना गर्न आवश्यक छ।
About the positive aspects of the report, I would like to go on some things which I think would be requiring some further consideration, and also for the learning of all of us on those particular aspects. You see, when I look back and I try to visualize the year 1947 and when trust was reposed in Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, even today I think how difficult it would have been for the political establishment of that particular time to have a Dalit as a law minister, to have a Dalit heading the constitution committee, to head the council for framing the constitution. And credit goes to Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar for making a legislative provision even at that point of time when it was adopted in 1950, and the political establishment for accepting it. And it has brought about a massive change in the entire political structure. But the difficulty which is arising now and which needs to be considered is that we are taking Dalits as a uniform community, or we take scheduled castes, scheduled tribes as a uniform community. Whereas now there is a caste which is existing within caste, and there is a social structure existing within the caste system. So even amongst Dalits, there are Dalit communities which have a higher preference, a higher social status compared to other Dalit communities which do not have that higher social status. Now, how to have even a uniformity within the Dalit community is in itself a big challenge. Now, with respect to their political participation, I would like to recall an incident. In 1980, Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer constituted a committee for monitoring the elections, and I was also a part of that committee, and I was assigned to go to Bihar in Muzaffarnagar
each other. So when somebody who is not part of the center of a village, who has a segregated housing, जिसका मकान बहुत दूर है गांव में, and that person contest for elections and come in the center of the village. You got my point? How many people in that village would accept that person's leadership? Because elections and taking a powerful seat means you are taking leadership. I do a lot of training on leadership, and I was just thinking around that if there was no reservation in India, there was no quota in India, would be adequate representation of Dalits in politics? I don't think so. I think in Indian context, we talk about the Panchayati Raj, we talk about the local governance, we talk about empowerment of people from scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, minority communities, and equally that is women from these communities. One thing which I have seen is that if there is a reservation for a Dalit woman's seat, then only she can contest the elections in that village. So the general mindset of the Dalit community itself is that if there is a seat for a Dalit woman, then only she can contest. She cannot contest on the scheduled caste seat or a Dalit seat. I think it would be the same situation in Nepal as well. ये बड़ा दुखद है. It's very painful. And one more thing I want to say is that we did a study in 2007. We released a report with compiled cases of 100 women from Gujarat, where I come from, Prime Minister state, and 100 from Tamil Nadu. Now when we did a comparative study and we tried to see the Tamil Nadu and the Gujarat situation, 63% of women cannot hold the power in the village council's office. यानी गांव की जो पंचायत है उसमें वो महिलाएं जा ही नहीं पाती थी. Forget about sitting on the chair. Forget about drinking tea in the same saucer. Right? There are cases where women have been fed with human excrement. Tamil Nadu is the state which has the highest these kind of incident. Tamil Nadu also had an incident where a Dalit village had his throat was slit. उसका गला काट दिया गया था. He had not committed any crime. He had not committed any kind of. He had followed the rule of law. I think these are some questions which I want to address, because we gave an example of Uttar Pradesh. A Dalit woman's face is being shown. My parents are from Uttar Pradesh. I am born in Gujarat. The point is the tokenism within the Dalit electoral politics also needs to be understood. A woman, if she is given the power, where does she hold herself to her own community? It means the same for a man also. Dalit men, when they are in the political parties, do they think about their communities or do they think about the party?
Sri Lanka, who are living in the plantation sector, who were brought by the British exactly 200 years ago to work in the plantation in Sri Lanka. 83% of them are from the Dalit community. So you can imagine, like even the Sri Lankans will say, when you have 4% of the community that belongs to our Dalits, they are completely denied even from the existence. So in that context, how do we speak about the Dalit rights? How do we speak about their participation in the electoral process? How do we speak about their decision making? Or how do we speak about us decision making? So this is very important, and thank you, Vasi, for inviting me. Also putting that across, I know the Dalit network, I think Solidarity Network, kind of put out the statistics as about 83% of the plantation workers are Dalit community, which is very important that it appears on the statistics. So from here, I also want to talk about the condition of the plantation sector, because it's also bonded labor. They have no access to owning land, and the women who are working in the plantation sector, when they go to work at 7 o'clock in the morning, they come back at 3, 4 o'clock in the evening, they don't have a toilet. They don't have toilets. So in this context, in this sort of situation that we have to look at, the rights of the women, their participation in the electoral process, and again, Sri Lanka's if you look at the statistics, only 5.3% of women are in the parliament. So when you have 5.3% of women in parliament, imagine having what is the possibility of a Dalit woman or the women from different castes that doesn't belong to that dominant the important caste getting a position or getting a place even on the nomination list. I want to put another context here in the sense how women are used, because during the time of war, I remember soon after the end of war in 2009 and 2010, the war, I think all of you all know the war ended in 2009. In 2010, one of the minority parties, the Tamil parties, which is called the Tamil National Alliance, when you're talking about in the local government election, you have over 50% of the representation for nomination were women. And even during the time of war, the nomination that was given for women was high. But after the war, after 2015, right now it's 0% only that you will have. I'm exaggerating 0, but it's about 1%. We have one woman. And that is why during the time of war, when the things were difficult, when no one wants to participate, women are pushed. We are pushed to okay, you go, we are giving, we are being politically correct, this and that. But when women really want their decision, want to be on the table of decision making, you are denied. So this is the context in Sri Lanka, and also I want to speak about when we are talking about access and when we are talking about for example, when we speak about Dalit community in Sri Lanka, they will always say, why are you creating a new problem? We don't have that problem. We don't have, so it's the representatives, all of a sudden they will come forward. I am the representative of a particular community. I am telling with authority that, unfortunately, those representatives are predominantly male, and they will say, no, there is no Dalit problem, you don't bring out that issue and create or divide the community. There are so many issues that come up as, okay, you are dividing the community, you are doing this, and this is why, no, we all have to, because we are minorities, we have to speak a particular voice. Your issues can be secondary, it can come later. So we have been put behind, you can come later, let's sort the ethnic issue, let's sort the other issue, and then after that you can come back. So this is how the issue or the issues of the Dalit.
Audio Jungle.